Ladies and gentlemen of the EPW, my name is Terry McDavid. I'm joined by the country boy, Jordan Roden.
In the flesh?
Yes. And tonight, we're coming to you out of kayfabe to talk about the SummerSlam pay-per-view that we have just watched. It was actually a pretty decent pay-per-view, in my opinion.
Well, if you compare it to the Battleground one that we watched last,
it was phenomenal then.
I don't think you can really even compare them. It was like night and day.
Yeah, pretty much. So, starting out the night, we had Baron Corbin versus John Cena opening up. It's been a while since we've seen John Cena actually open up for a pay-per-view.
Yeah, someone of his stature and fame within the WWE universe. I mean, almost every time he has the capability of performing in the main event. And so, because of that is what adds to the surprisingness seeing him in the beginning match, but because he's just kind of very recently coming back after a short hiatus from the league, it is good to have him. Well, it was good to have him in that beginning match because it helped start off with the bang.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, the match itself was kind of boring. You could tell that Cena really wasn't into the match, especially with Baron Corbin having a lot of heat with WWE right now. I think with Cena actually beating him, it was kind of like a punishment, for sending out those bad tweets to fans. And I understand that he's a heel and he has to be vicious with his tweets, but literally tweeting fans to go kill themselves, that's a little much.
That's not gonna go.
That's not good for the PR. So, just for the sheer fact it was a boring match, I gave it a C.
Yeah, I guess it didn't have a lot of build-up into it, and I think that kind of hurt into it too.
And then we weren't invested.
No, to start off, yeah, I would see probably a solid C. It was okay, I guess. Nothing too showy about it.
Yeah,
it was what it was.
Next match we have Naomi versus Natalya for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Did not see that finish coming.
Yeah, the finish was kind of surprising, to say the least.
I mean, good on Natalya for actually getting that championship. I mean, she's been in the company for so long. Good on her.
It has been a long time for her.
But it kind of doesn't make any sense because they just recently released a line of championship belts that were of Naomi's. They just released the Glow Women's Championship, where the championship actually lit up. So they just released that, so you would think they wanted to keep it on her for sales.
But I could see maybe she is possibly going to win it back
in October, maybe
soon. Could it be October? Could it be
on a SmackDown? Maybe?
Could it be any time, either maybe before or after? Maybe could it be before the end of the year? I think it likely could be that Naomi were to possibly win it back.
Okay.
But I think because with her in this glow, even though I don't care for it, it has gotten a lot of fandom of it, and even without her having it, I still can see people like the glowy flashiness of that belt.
Me personally, I wasn't a fan of the Glow Championship belt. I thought it made it look so tacky.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I liked Naomi's gimmick with the whole Glow thing. Didn't like the whole championship about it. This one again, surprise ending. I give this one a C as well. It was a pretty decent match. It was a decent match for what it was.
Same. It was. I agree with this one. It was okay. I wasn't fully into the match because I'm not the biggest Glow. I mean, I don't hate her. Like sometimes you're against a face, but I mean, I don't support her in any ways either. So it's kind of there, and Natalya's just kind of Natalya.
Yeah.
She's just kind of been there for a lot of her career.
Yeah, it really has.
And so that's why the match. I mean, the match was okay for who it was, but I think it could have been better.
It could have. Next match, Big Cass versus Big Show with Enzo Amore in a cage above them. Not much to say because nothing much really happened in the match. To be honest, the only thing that was exciting about it was Enzo squirting himself up, lubing himself up, and squeezing through the cage, and then automatically got knocked out. D.
And I wouldn't even give it that high. I think more of like a D minus.
Yeah,
because if you watch what happens in the immediate show afterwards, well, after that, Enzo ends up going to become a cruiserweight now.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, this kind of, after the breakup of Big Cass and Enzo, it's basically just been Big Show and Big Cass, like, every week.
And I really hate it for Big Cass because I feel like they had some big plans for him. Looks like he tore his ACL.
Yeah, he did. It said he would be out, I think it said
8 to 9 months.
8 to 9 months,
Yeah.
which
It
that
sucks for him.
really is unfortunate because right after they tried to build him as his own standalone character and then bang,
It's
he's
injured.
gone for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it could be a big build for him to return at potentially next year's SummerSlam.
Not gonna happen. Everybody's gonna boo him out of the building.
But
Yeah.
I guess we will wait and see.
Next match, if you could call it a match, Rusev versus Randy Orton.
I don't know if you can really.
I
I guess
it doesn't.
in all technicality, it is and will be a match because technically there was a bell and then there was a tap.
Okay. I think.
But sorry, I'll let you go ahead.
I was like, what grade do you give this? I give this one a D minus.
This was an F.
This was an F. Okay.
Because what happened in this match?
RKO.
There was an RKO, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
There was no more, no less.
I mean, that was payment for Randy for jobbing to Jinder for 3 straight pay-per-views. That's basically all. That's basically what it was. I feel bad for you, Rusev. Honestly, you were a great worker. You deserve more.
I feel that after Rusev sustained his injury and since he's come back, he hasn't. He hasn't
been put into good storylines.
He hasn't been putting into good storylines, good matches. He's just kind of been. Since he's been back, it was the Battleground match against John Cena, which he had already had a big long feud with John Cena. And that just kind of brought that back, which was like, oh, I don't know why you're doing this, but okay. And then he just kind of, out of nowhere,
literally
out of nowhere, starts fighting Randy Orton, which it was like no storyline build-up,
no,
virtually at all.
And
And the match was just making you scratch your head, like, okay, I don't know why this is even going on. I guess you need another match, and you just wanted to put these guys somewhere.
Up next, we have Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship. This one really surprised me.
This one was considerably better than the other women's.
Of course, because you got better caliber talent in there.
Absolutely.
This one actually gave us some compelling storytelling within the ring, had some great work ethic about them, and then Sasha Banks actually picking up the win against Alexa Bliss. I'm sorry, buddy.
No, it's okay. Our thing is in the past.
Fair enough. So this match overall, I give this one a B.
I give it a B plus. I think they are doing very well in the Raw women's division, but in SmackDown, I feel like the women's division is rather subpar.
It really is.
And it's like
Especially with the treatment of Charlotte.
Charlotte, I mean, if you think about it in the past, the Charlotte-Sasha feuds were just exceptional. But since moving her over to the SmackDown brand, you would think, oh, a superstar like that, she could help bring up some of the other women in the SmackDown division, where actually it's been the opposite. They've kind of brought her down.
Exactly. I hate that for her, but anyways, next match and a possible contention for match of the night. Sheamus and Cesaro versus Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose. A. Straight up A. Straight up A, man. Loved this match. Had perfect long-term storytelling about it. Part of the Shield reuniting, and then it all culminating at SummerSlam with the championship win. Loved it. Nothing really more I can say about it. It's just go and watch it. We can talk about it all we want.
You have great superstars that really come into their own. I mean, Cesaro is great at what he does. Sheamus is good at what he does. And then you have Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose, I think a few years ago, I think Dean Ambrose would have been a little bit below a couple of the other guys.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he's really helped establish himself as well.
Exactly. And then Seth Rollins was already a great wrestler, so great match. Want more from them. Next match, my personal favorite. Bray Wyatt versus the Demon King Finn Balor. I'll let you talk about this one first.
I think this is overall a good match. I definitely had a feeling that Finn would win, coming out with the whole Demon King, which is not something that he does very much, but except in like big occasions, and with the persona of Bray Wyatt, the Demon King really just kind of clashed well together.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would give it a solid, I'd say probably B+ to A-.
Me personally, I've been waiting for the Demon King to come out. Back in Great Balls of Fire, when he didn't show up as the Demon King, I was mad. I was really mad. So the fact that they let him put on the Demon King persona...
Actually, don't you mean, goodness gracious,
Great Balls of Fire! Anyway, whenever he got to put on the Demon King garb, it had been a year since we had seen the Demon King. I loved it. I knew Finn was going to win from the get-go, but it didn't matter.
But I think, granted, you have to remember he was out of commission
for
a good portion of that.
He was, and
so,
I won't hold that against him.
And, I mean, I think even in that time frame, even if he would have been at all of the pay-per-views that he could have been at, even at all of them, you might have seen him maybe 2 times, two to
Maybe.
3.
Yeah. I mean... Yeah, I'll give you that, but this was great seeing my boy Finn come back in his prime. This one, I know I'm pulling a U right now. It's an A. It's a solid A, just because I am such a huge Finn Balor fan. Loved it. The next match we have up, AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens for the United States Championship. Again, great match. Also, we had Shane McMahon as the special guest referee.
Here comes the money!
Honestly, I feel like there's a little too much Shane McMahon in this.
Yeah.
There's a little much Shane McMahon.
I've always been a fan of Shane McMahon, a very big one. But with these two caliber of men, they didn't need Shane McMahon to help build this match up.
No, I know the reason why they're doing this, because it's all going to cultivate at Survivor Series. Kevin and Shane are going to be feuding, and they're going to have teams at Survivor Series against each other. That's what's going to happen.
Interesting.
So
I see
that's where I'm seeing it heading off, and then this Tuesday was a good hint. It was a good hint towards it. So, overall though, the match was very technically sound. Both of them fought really, really hard. I give this one an A-. The only reason why it's an A- is because a little much Shane McMahon. What's your grade?
I'd say I give it a B.
You give it a B? Fair enough. Next up, we have Shinsuke Nakamura versus Jinder Mahal. I don't want to talk about this too much, otherwise I'm going to get mad. It's just the same boring finish that we saw with Randy Orton. D.
It's not going to get any better until they do something different than just have the Singler just come in, and the challenger to Jinder Mahal beat the snot out of him, and then Jinder Mahal takes advantage and wins.
Yeah, no.
It's just going to be the exact same. thing over and over and over. It literally was the exact same feud that what happened with Randy Orton.
Right.
Like, it wasn't anything different.
Again,
It just, instead of Randy Orton, they had Shinsuke Nakamura in that position, but it was no different.
What's your grade?
I'll give it an F.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of Shinsuke Nakamura.
Okay, yeah.
And I think that Jinder Mahal he's
He can
gradually
wrestle.
getting better at wrestling.
He can wrestle. Get rid of the darn Singh brothers.
Like, I don't care about them. I don't.
No, I understand their gimmick and everything, but you're giving us too much of it. Do something different. I don't mind if they interfere. Just give us a different finish.
Like, it finished exactly like the other ones, and I was just like, okay, well, I feel like I just rewatched the last pay-per-view.
Exactly. But we ended on a high note. The Fatal 4-Way for the Universal Championship between Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe, and Roman Reigns.
If you can't tell, he's still rather salty with him.
I've always been salty of him. He just made it worse by having me lose my championship. But anyways, the match was great. Exactly what I thought it would be. I know that they had to keep Lesnar away by put him in the back a little bit so he won't get too gassed. Braun Strowman looked great. Samoa Joe looked great. Roman Reigns looked okay. And Brock Lesnar looked great. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar will be doing at No Mercy. Nobody looked weak in this, sadly for Roman Reigns. Everybody looked strong in this. And
I think kind of how we looked at the SmackDown Women's Division bringing down Charlotte because of the caliber of talent, I feel like they, in this match, brought up Roman Reigns. Because he was clearly the weakest link in this. If you look, you have Brock Lesnar, Samoa Joe, and Braun Strowman that are all just massive, tall, just big
Samoa Joe's not that tall.
They're all bigger framed men.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Roman Reigns, who's just not like, he's not like half the size of the rest of these guys.
But it was honestly just a wonderful match. Actually, it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And I had pretty good expectations for it, and it surpassed them. A+.
A+ easily.
Right. Overall grade for this pay-per-view, I give this pay-per-view a B+. That's some low point matches, but you know what? The high points were high. And I had fun watching this pay-per-view. So that's why my grade is going to be a B+. So what's your grade?
I would give it a solid B. I think it had a couple low points here and there, especially with like the Enzo Big Cass fiasco, silliness, the Shinsuke Nakamura and Jinder Mahal, basically a repeat match, and the not very enthusiastic first couple of matches. But other than that, some of the other matches were very, very, very good. And I think that's what makes it a solid B.
Alright, so this has been the EPW retrospective of SummerSlam. We'll see you guys in the month of September for No Mercy. And speaking of...
something you'll remember. Dancing in September.
Something also to remember in September. There is a certain glorious birthday coming up in September. We'll see you guys then.